Welcome to this Seven-Figure Club podcast where business meets soul success. You are an entrepreneur, I guess, with a burning desire to create a thriving business that aligns with your spiritual values and make you a positive impact in the world. If you are ready to embark and transform this journey of a business and spiritual like-minded journey, I want to say, you are in the right place.
Michael and I, Elizabeth, are your hosts, and we are honored to guide you through enlightened conversation that will empower you to infuse your business with purpose, mindfulness, prosperity, and profit.
And not only with our own stories, but we will interview spiritual awakened and high achievers in the business world for you to get inspired, motivated, and the insight and knowledge to do the exact same thing as they did.
So without further ado, dive into today's episode. So, Camilla, Elizabeth, I've been so excited for this.
Me too.
Yes. So I would love for you to share with us, first of all, your journey. So where you are now, and then dive into what is it that you do and the magic that you create.
Well, I have been an entrepreneur for full-time in my business for almost 2 years. And it has been a crazy journey. Being an entrepreneur is the craziest self-developed journey that I've ever been on. So my journey started back in 2018-ish, when my life fell apart, like most stories start with. But my life crumbled between my fingers, and I felt like I wasn't in control of anything that happened. So I realized that I have been spending my life in my safe zone for all the years I've been on this earth. And I realized when I lost what I lost of people and what I thought who I was, then I didn't know who I was without it. And when everything then crumbled and I felt all alone in the whole wide world, I was like, well, who am I without all that I thought I would have forever? So it was the craziest time of my life and the hardest and all of that, but it gave me the courage to look for something else, to try something else. And so I've been at that time in my safe job for 7 years and done what I do. I was a real estate agent.
For 7 years?
For 7 years,
Damn.
yes, the same place. So I asked them to finance an NLP education, like a bonus or something. I was like, I'm just trying it, and if they say no, it's okay, I paid myself. But then they said yes, and it was amazing. So I did that for half a year and had that, and I was like, my life is completely changed now. And it was amazing, and I spent a lot of that time also redefining myself and finding out who I was and who I wanted to be.
Yeah.
While picking up the pieces from everything that had fell apart, so I could create and choose what I wanted to have in, because I believe that many are just following a road like their parents, and then you get a safe job, and then you buy a house, and then you have children, and you had a car, and all is good, and then you just live the rest of your life like that. So I have just followed what I thought was the road you're supposed to be. So it was really a change in my life to have the courage to do something completely different.
To let go of the illusion of what is supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. I had like a plan in my head of how it was supposed to be, and it has not been like that at all. And it took me some time to accept that my reality was something else.
Yeah.
And it took me time to accept that my life didn't went the way I thought it would and didn't went as fast as I thought it would. So yeah, everything changed.
Also, I think that's actually something that a lot of people can relate to. Like, we have this idea in our head of what our life is gonna look like, and when that's not happening, it can be so hard to actually, like, okay, as you did, like the journey you went through, like, okay, who am I if I'm not what I thought, or my life isn't going as planned, like.
Exactly. And those were the women I started to wanted to be there for people who were like in a place where they were like, who am I when I'm not a mother, or when I'm not a girlfriend, or when I'm not a friend, or when I'm not my job, who am I then? And
peeling back all the layers that society told us, and you are this, or if you're not this, and you're...
Yeah, really back to basics work. And it was amazing, all the things that I got to do and I realized, and my journey went really fast from there, both for the investments I made in different coaches and the decisions I took. And that is probably one of the things I'm most proud of, is the courage that I had to I'm just going completely different road, and I'm taking all the steps, and it's going fast and running.
Do you think that if you hadn't had this like breakdown where everything fell apart, do you think you would be where you are right now, or would you have stuck with the image of what's supposed to be from back then?
I would love to say I have still chosen this path, but honestly, I think I would be living my very regular, safe life.
Yeah,
maybe I would have changed. Maybe I would have switched job, but I believe my life would be completely different. That is also one of the things I believe that we see very much, is that we need to feel so bad before we make a change. And
a lasting change, not just a change for a while until everything gets comfortable again, but really being like, okay, no, done with this.
Yeah, exactly. We really need to hit the basement of rock bottom before we do something. We're ready to give in to what we really want. So yeah, today I work with entrepreneurs who want to build their business or scale their business. So I help them build the foundation, and I help them with the strategy behind and how they build sustainable in their business so they can live from it. One of the things that I read a couple of years ago was that only 4% of coaches can live of their business. So I was like, oh my God, there's a market for me on 96%. That is amazing. So I believe there's room for many, many more to live a fulfilled life where they love what they do and who they are, and have the courage to choose that.
Also, because you're known as the Queen of Ease. Like, ease is like your word. It's ease.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell a bit more about ease? Like, what is ease?
Well, ease for me was created in a time in my business where I was like, I'm just doing everything and nothing works. I'm doing everything people tell me to do, and I'm following this, and I'm just, why isn't it happening? And I was at this course with 3 amazing ladies who were teaching about spirituality in business and activation of our results.
Yeah.
And it was completely amazing. And it was 3 entire days where we just were dedicated to hearing all of the gold they had to say. And one of them talked about that people have a favorite way of suffering.
Oh, yes.
And I had never heard that before at that time. And I was like, that's really interesting that we have like a pattern that we go to, and that we keep ourselves stuck in that zone because that is what we know.
Even if it's suffering, we will stay there because it's well known to us. It's safe still, even though it's suffering.
Yeah, because humanity's greatest need is recognizability. Yes. So we go to whatever we recognize. So I was sitting there and I was like, well, it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. That is not true that if I just find my favorite way of suffering, that then I can just change it and then everything that I want will happen. And I told that to them in the chat, and she was like, well, if you have a hard time letting go of your struggle, well, then it's pretty clear that struggle and telling yourself that your struggle is your favorite way of suffering. And that was just like, I wrote it down, and when I had written it in my notebook, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yes.
So what do I want instead? Well, the opposite for me, struggle, that is ease. So that was where ease was born. So ease is for me today that not everything is easy. I know there's a lot of things we go through, but we can choose to be an environment in our head that we give it permission to be. It's not easy. Maybe it's hard. That is just because I haven't done it before, or that is just because I'm new at this. So let ourselves into the mind of knowing that we can let. I want to find a specific word that I can't really find at this moment, but be open to that things can be filled with ease, even though they aren't easy, because then we stop the self-sabotaging, we stop the doubt of, can I do this, or am I good enough, or all of these kinds of things, because we create ourselves the states of being in our head where we struggle.
Definitely. So
that is what ease is, and it completely changed within 30 days when I implemented ease, and really it became the core of everything I did. So within 30 days, I signed in high-end clients, and I made huge results in my business that I have been longing for so long. And it was my dream clients I met, and it was just...
It was easy.
It was easy, and it was fun, and it was the key I needed to live the life that I wanted and create the balance in my business, because I believe also that we're used to live in a world where we just are in the doer, and we can do greater and harder and more and better and bigger and all these kinds of things. But to let ourselves have fun meanwhile and create the freedom from the beginning, and not just when life hurts.
I think you're saying something really interesting, because something that I notice is that a lot of people are like, oh, I have to hustle, I have to grind, I have to struggle for my results. And they actually forget to have fun. And as soon as you have fun in your business, that's in my experience where it just booms. If you're out and you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself, and if we're talking about like law of attraction, it makes total sense, because you attract what you are, and if you're not happy, well, misery will find you. So the part of having fun and make your business with ease, like having it with ease, makes so much sense to me.
And exactly like you said, when we have this energy of everything is hard and struggle, and we need to just hustle our way to success, it just becomes so hard, and that is the energy we send out, and that is the energy we attract. So it's all just a bad circle of not getting what we really want.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
do you have like a favorite story, maybe from one of your clients or one of your own, that you're like, okay, if I should tell a story, I would love to tell this one? Have you had someone in your space that have followed you maybe and used your strategies and had massive success? Or do you have someone you're truly proud of?
Yeah, I have one of my recently clients. She is the fastest manifester that I have ever met. And it was just like when she took the decision to be in my space and to follow the strategy that we have in 𝐒𝐩𝐥𝐞𝐯, Well, she just exploded. It took, I don't know, 1 week or 14 days or something that she got signed in for a job. It wasn't actually someone they were looking for, but they fell in love with her, so they created a job for her to sign her in. She got offered a new home, a bigger and greater home that she had been looking at for a really long time, and she built the foundations of her program, and she really had all of these amazing ideas that she started to send out, and she got offered a freelancer job, and she just accomplished so many things, and it was just because she has taking the decision of, well, now I'm going all in. This is what I want.
Yes.
And all of the pieces just fell into place so fastly. And whenever she does that, whenever she decides to take these leaps in her business, they're just, the puzzle pieces just fall directly into place.
And that's actually so key. Take a decision.
Yeah.
Just pick one.
Yeah, and go all in
and
when you do.
make it to everything.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of people are like, you know, like in between, or what if, or if I choose this, then I can't have that, you know, but choose.
Yeah.
Because you can have everything, but you have to choose.
Yeah, and when you have made the decision, you also need to choose to give it all you got, because I also see many that they say that, oh, I'm all in and I'm giving it all I got, but they're still like keeping themselves a little bit locked from, it needs to be a specific way, or I need to be a bad person to be an entrepreneur, or so they keep some of their old stories, and we really need to let all of that go when we make the decision, because otherwise we just keep repeating our old patterns, and then we're like, well, if I'm just waiting for it to land, because that's taking one decision, that must be enough.
Yeah, and that's the same if someone created their first course and they made one post or one video where they talk about it, and then like, okay, now everybody comes to me. It's like, no, that's not how it works. You know?
No.
you have to keep doing it. So, you know, kudos on you doing your first course, and you did once, but you need continuously to do something.
Yeah, and advertise for it.
Yes, and speak about it from your heart and with your excitement, so people can hear it, and they will be excited. You know, you will attract them.
Yeah, so it's the energy that makes the difference in it.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Also, because what we see now in the market is that we don't buy a product, like we buy the person.
Yeah.
So they need to know who you are and what you stand for and why you are the beautiful human that you are, and all your values and what you offer on a deeper level, like even on a spiritual level. They need this connection. Yeah. I think that's actually beautiful, more than
really beautiful.
More than just like, hey, I want millions too, you know.
Yeah. And when we give in to that feeling of, you have a fine program, but I want it from you because it's you, we enter a deeper level of trust too, and that is where the spirituality really also is a perfect blend of this. Just give in and trust that you will make the right moves, and you have made the right decisions, and everything that you want will come, because you are there and you're on your way. But people often get so impatient that we're like, it can only happen like this.
Yes.
And when the opportunity lands from all other places, they're like, no, that was not what I wanted. And that was not what I wanted either. Well, it's...
Or like, oh, it didn't land as I thought it was, so what I'm doing is not working, even though it's coming in from all other sources than what they picture in their head.
True.
So it's like, no, it is working. It's just not how you imagined it. Yeah.
Exactly. I also remember that for the first long period of my business, I was having a yo-yo income, but I managed to get through, even though I was like, I don't know how to pay my rent next month, and I thought that my money would land from clients, but they landed also from taxes and from presents and from everywhere different, and vacation money. I'm not sure if that's the right word in English, but from my old job, and they landed as I needed them.
Yes.
And I made it through, and that is what happens when we lean into that this is the way that I'm going, and I'm open to however it will happen.
I have a saying that is that money always finds me.
Yeah,
money always finds me. Like, I can't hide from money. Money always finds me.
I love that.
It comes in from everywhere. It's actually sometimes it can get a little scared. It's scary when you're thinking about like, okay, what the fuck just happened? Like, but it makes sense. Like, money always finds me. I can't hide from money.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like invite that shit in, you know.
Yeah. And it's energy. So like everything else. So
Also, when we talk about energy, a lot of people are like, oh, I want 100,000. But if we look at the universe, your universe might not know what 100,000 is. So be more specific. Like, oh, I want a bedroom with 5 bedrooms. 5 bedrooms, you know, or I want to be able to travel. You know, if you can't picture like 100,000, then picture stuff or experiences or whatever else you can actually imagine and hold. Then do that, because if you never had 100,000, it could be hard. If you never seen 1 million, it could be hard. Like you can't barely grasp it, I think. Yeah. But then being like, okay, convert it into something that you do know. Yeah. That you can taste and feel. Yeah. More than just an idea.
Makes you excited for it.
Because it's excitement in the end.
Yeah.
Do you have something exciting going on? Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Do you have something exciting going?
No, I just yes, I always do. but I just wanted to add on to that also knowing that stepping into what you want activates these feelings of it. So more than just looking on what you want, because it's so easy to, well, I want that and that and that and that. So also look at why is it that you want to have it, because when you activate those feelings on a deeper level, it becomes much more exciting.
Also, if you want it for like my friends or family, like make it about more than just, oh, I want $1 million just to have $1 million, you know. Yeah,
exactly. That was really one of the game changers too. These conversation about, well, what do we want, but finding out, who do I want it for? What is the bigger picture, and why is it that I want it? Just like, well, my passion is to encourage people to live their best life and to build their best business, so we can get a lot more of people loving who they are for their entire life. Yeah. That is where all of my passion starts from. And that is from a much deeper level than what we tend to sometimes deep into.
Yeah, also because it raises the vibration, and we're all here just to raise the vibration. Yeah. And if we're able to live the life that we love, it's not about what you love. It's like, if you live a life that you love, for some it's a lot of material things, like they want a big car and a fancy house. For some others it's like, oh, I want time and it's fine. And for others it's like, oh, I want time so I can get back in touch with nature, or I want to garden, or whatever. It doesn't matter as long as it's your dream life. Yeah. And also I heard this thing, and I want to hear your take on it, that you can't be materialistic while being spiritual. And I think that's very interesting, why it is that there is this idea that if you're spiritual, oh, you need to give away stuff for free, you know, and you're not allowed to accept things in. I think that's such an interesting, and I'd love to hear your take on that.
That is really interesting. I don't really know where it's coming from, because I
don't know if it's like Jesus suffering, you know.
No, I don't know either. Well, all spiritual beings just love nature and then they don't need anything else. Or something like that. I believe it's totally BS, because I love material, that is a hard word, material things. Yeah. And I consider myself very spiritual, so I believe the combination of it what we want and what we need. I just believe, as I see spiritual people, is that when you open up to have trust in something bigger than yourself, it is much easier to move, because then you move away from all the logic, and people always tend to look at, but how do you do it, and how is it, or what is it, or or all these normal questions, I want to call them. But when you move into your spirituality, you open up to a whole other level of trust that you can only experience if you dare to try it.
Yeah.
And I believe it had nothing to do that you can't dream about material things, or you need to give everything away for free.
And I 100% agree. And
Yeah.
also because when you go out and buy something fancy for yourself,
Yeah.
you're putting money and therefore energy back into the
Yeah,
universe.
exactly.
And we need to have this, like, to have a cycle that actually works.
Yeah. Spirituality is so simple.
It is.
And I believe, therefore, it's so hard for many people to trust it. And therefore, I think that is a really hard combination when we want to mix it with money or a big fancy house or a Range Rover or whatever it is that we dream of, because that becomes something that we can know and hold. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It makes sense in my head.
It makes sense for us. So if it doesn't for you, you just let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really interesting, and I'm really curious on how that saying started, actually. If someone knows, please let us know.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting, and that this idea that you have to suffer if you want to connect spiritually, I don't agree with it, because we're not here to suffer. That's not why we're here.
No. I also believe that one of the struggle themes when we dive deep into spirituality is that there's always something to heal, or there's always something that we have a wound of, or something, and I believe that's a little bit misunderstood, that we always need to heal something, or we always have something, or fix something, or we always have a wound that we carry around with, because I get the point of it, but I believe that sometimes we look too much on what is not working, or what it is that we need to heal or fix, or whatever it is, that we actually forget that we are moving, and we can make the decision once again to think something else, or just to say, well, I am healed, or it is fixed. It's just because you tell your brain otherwise that you believe there is something off. So that is one of the things I believe is a little bit misunderstood within spirituality.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. 1,000%. So, something you got exciting coming up? Anything you're looking forward to? I know you got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So anything you want to share?
Well, right now, the space I'm working in is called Awaken Me, and we are growing. We just added another team member.
Awesome.
Crazy awesome. And within both the next couple of months, but also the next year, I know that there will be added a whole other difference of value into Awaken Me. So we're going to work much more on educational wise, but we're also going to expand much more. So I believe that we all have our different genius zones.
Yes.
So we will be having different people also into our team, so we can help you and help everyone. So really this part of growing, and we're also talking about having more physical meetups, because we had that a few months ago, and it was just completely amazing.
There's something with the energy when you actually meet in person. It's just so beautiful, and people, you get all high from it. Yeah,
it's really exciting. So that is what we have on as a team right now, and otherwise, just for me, I know that 𝐒𝐻𝐳 is going to expand. 𝐒𝐻𝐳 is my core, but 𝐒𝐻𝐳 is also an event I am running, and I know it's going to be greater and bigger, and I really believe that this is something that more people will know about and implement. So I can't wait to see that really grow and get stronger and wiser into the world. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
That is one of the things that excite me at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like growing your business. That's fucking awesome.
yeah, it is amazing.
We love to scale a business.
Love to scale it. And hopefully I will move within the next year or two. The big home that I have been dreaming of for a long time. So
it's already yours.
yes, it is.
It's already yours.
I'm just ready for it to land, but
Yeah.
they say the universe doesn't know time. So
You put in the order.
yes,
It'll be done soon.
I just wish for it until next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also the thing, because a lot of people are like, no, I put it out in the universe. Like, you still have to do, like, take some action steps
Yeah.
to make things come your way. And you're expanding your business, so that's a massive action step.
Yeah, completely. Getting a lot of new beautiful people in and really being proud of what they do. That must be the greatest thing that I can experience in this lifetime is to celebrate with all of the people that I meet.
I love that. It's just, being out there and actually living from your genius zone and being able to impact life and do the difference that you do.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful. Yeah.
It is amazing.
It's really
Life runs so fast and we tend to just like forget how precious time really is, and we're just like, it's not really the right time right now. Well, there is no such thing as the right time. So
time is now.
yeah.
And also, I know that you're like to celebrate along your, like you celebrate even the smallest success.
Yes.
And I love that. I do that too. So maybe someone like listening, could you tell a little bit more about like, because you just said the thing that like time goes so fast that we often like forget where we actually are. So this is about celebrating all the small steps. What does that do?
Well, it anchors the feeling that many levels, but it anchors the feelings of that you are worthy of whatever you are receiving or doing or feeling proud of in this very moment. And it also anchors this part of yourself and your identity that you're worthy of it, because a lot of people, that was my struggle too for a long time, that the doubt of, am I worthy of it? Can I hold it? Am I good enough for it? Do I know enough? And all these kinds of things. So it's really a confirmation to yourself too, to know that it is I want to say a hard road. It can feel like a hard road, but make it fun and fill it with ease and celebration, because you're going to take a lot of these kinds of steps, and if it's only the big giant milestones you are allowed to celebrate, well, then
it just becomes long.
Yeah, and then it might not be that fun or that joyful, or not feel like that freedom you really wished for.
So it also gives you a sense of actually moving when you celebrate the smaller steps, that you can actually see that you are accomplishing something at least.
Yeah.
And
especially the small steps, because we make small steps every day. So drink champagne every day.
Champagne every day. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say here? Like, we're getting closer to the end of the podcast. Is there something you want to include?
Oh my God, I have so many things. I really want to add on this going back to basics work, because whenever we think we're stuck or struggling, or when we don't really know what to do, it's going back to the basics that help us to reground. We're never stuck. It's just our body that wants us to reground, because I often see it as whenever we up level, we just taking a step up the stairs. So of course our roots needs to grow with us. So we need to reground to build that identity of who am I at this level? Who am I at this step? Because there are going to be a lot of setting boundaries and a lot of action taking and decision making, but it all starts with the energy behind it, and it only comes through when we feel good. And we feel like great people, because I don't think that we need results to feel good, but whenever you keep in that balance of ease, it will come, it will land. I will promise you that everything will eventually land whenever you keep yourself in you and enjoying the road meanwhile. Because it's not worth it if we're just like getting stressed or anxiety or depressed on the road along the way.
No, because then you might as well just stay at your old job where you already feel crappy, you know, you just keep on doing that instead.
Yeah.
And also, like, I like to say this, that it's not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be hard. Like, it's okay to have hard times in life.
Yes,
but it's not supposed to be hard.
No.
So, and that's, again, it needs to be easy. And as you said, ease doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't hard times.
No.
That's
not at
that's
all.
not the part of it.
No, definitely not. It just means that you're being invited to bring in your ease, the ease in that knowing that you got you always. So all the bad things you have been going through, all the hard times and the crappy things in life that happens, and life happens all the time, so we can't stop up every time that something happened around us. So it's giving into, this may feel like hard times, this might feel crappy, this might feel like a struggle or stuck or whatever it is. Yes, it might be hard, but if you focus on it being hard and you don't want to do it, well, then it will be hard. If you focus on, this is not my favorite part of my lifetime, but I know I can handle it, I know I can do it, and this is only hard because I haven't been here before.
Yeah. And also, instead of focusing on the struggle, maybe the learnings from it. Like, what do I learn from this area of my life? And it can be hard focusing on that when you're in deep.
Yeah.
But there is always a lesson somewhere to be learned.
Always. Always.
Yeah.
And it often comes in a really ugly wrapping. And we can often only really understand it when we have moved past it.
Yeah. So, I know what my personal stand is on this question, but this thing about, you know, when you hit rock bottom, even in your business, there is, like, it can be very successful and you'll still have a struggling time.
Trust me, I know that.
Yeah. So, what do we take from, like, when we hit this hard period in our business? Does that tell us something? Like, we're close to, like, breaking the glass ceiling or something? Like, is there... Because sometimes we see people give up like 5 seconds before they could hit like their millions or like have a breakthrough or something like.
Yeah.
Can we use it as a compass?
Of course we can. We always can, and it's really, really a good question. I both believe it's a guidance for us that you're going somewhere. I often, the experience that I have around it is that when I've forgotten myself in the process, because we can move really fast and it can just like go up and up and up. And it's amazing, these parts, but when we realize that we have a little bit forgotten, okay, well, what is it that I'm doing and why is it that I'm doing it? Because I'm doing it for something other than just do.
Yeah.
So realizing that we doesn't have to move slow, but we just need to reground and really find our identity in every level, and really remember who we are and who we were and what we started here for. Because it will be hard times. There will be hard times. We can have the greatest success and still feel like crap. I had a time where I had just made my first 6-figure income, and a few months after, I was just like, I just want to throw everything out in the trash can. Nothing worse. And I was just like, I was just crying. I was just like, I don't know what's going on and I don't understand anything of it. But something is off.
Yeah.
So I reached out to some of my people and I journal on it and these kinds of things. So an advice for that would really also be create a safe space with your people. It could both be mentor or friends or family or whatever it is. But often when we think we need to do something, we need to do the opposite. When our nervous system reacts and just like, you need to do this and this and this and this, it's often because we need to let go.
Yeah.
Go out. do the opposite of what your body is telling you that you need to do right now, because it will just accelerate more of this that we can feel inside of our body.
Yeah.
So having your people around you to remind you of that.
Yeah.
And to
remember that slowing down isn't a bad thing.
It's really not. It's a part of enjoying the process.
Yeah.
And it's about remembering your own best advices.
Yeah.
That can be really hard when we stand in these times where we just like, nothing works.
But I think it's very valuable for people to hear that even though you're making 6 figures and you're having a thriving business, that you can still have this sense of having a hard time, and that is okay. It doesn't mean that you're a failure or your business is failing or anything else. It just means that you're growing into something new, and you have to remember yourself while going the road. Because like I see that some people just like gives up when it becomes hard, because they're like, oh, I just made my first like 6 figures, let's say that. So why don't I feel
amazing?
Yeah, why don't I feel amazing? Why isn't things easy? And it's like, because you haven't embodied it yet.
Yeah.
Like,
it isn't you.
No, it's not you yet.
If you don't feel it's you, or if you feel like there's something off, or now you have it and now you're just like scared of it.
Yes. And we see that too. Like, oh my God, I don't know.
Exactly.
It was everything that I wanted, and I don't know now.
And I don't know how to hold it anymore. So having this, that will happen too. So this part of having beautiful people around you also makes the greatest difference. I wouldn't have survived my hardest times in my business without my mentor and without my people and reaching out for them when needed, because it's really also about taking responsibility.
Yeah. When
life is great, when life sucks, whatever it is, to say that, hi, I just need a hand, or I just need something to be heard or feel seen, or just be near someone.
Yeah.
Or tell me something that I know I already know, but I need to hear out loud.
Yeah, tell me again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, what I'm hearing is like, I love the fact that you say that you have a mentor. Because a lot of people think that, oh, I invested in one coach and she taught me how to like make $1 million, so now I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your standpoint on that?
Well, I believe it works for some. I'm myself a person who loves to invest different places.
Same.
Because I love these different people that we meet. I love their different perspective of life and business and whatever we're talking about. But I think the most important part is to invest where your heart is invested in, where you feel driven to, and it doesn't matter if it's one or several. I believe that if you work as a coach or a therapist or in the self-development business at all, well, then you need to have someone with you on the sideline, because we are always our own blind spot.
Oh yes.
Always. So that is one of the things I have promised myself from the beginning, that I would never be without someone by my side. Because it's also the authority, I believe, because it can be really hard for many people to grow into this masculine authority. So have someone that you can look up to, but it's nearby you, so it becomes easy to adapt that part of your personality.
Yeah.
Also,
because I think that on different levels we need different people.
Yeah.
So for me, I've had several coaches, and I'll keep having a coach.
Me too.
Because I need someone who are further than me, which means that the one that taught me how to start my business, she can't help me anymore, because like now I'm 7 years in, and the strategies back then, I'm so grateful for them, but they don't fit where I am now. So now it's like, okay, now I want to find someone who is making like 100 million or a billion or whatever it is, like someone who are further than me, so that I can keep evolving. Yeah. And that's also, I understand that you have several levels in your program, because that's beautiful, because you are able to take people further under on their journey.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful too.
Yeah. And we need to learn every step. We can't just I'm just skipping ahead.
I just wanted to learn the millionaire method.
Yeah.
I haven't sold anything yet, but
yeah.
yeah.
And we can't skip the parts. We can't skip the experiences of feeling all that we feel in our business, or all the milestones, or all the heartbreaks, or whatever it is that we're going through. We can't skip that. So I totally agree on that. We matches on different level from where we are.
Yeah.
So that is really important to remember. And I also believe that we change so magically much, very, very fast in this business, and in life in general when we choose so. So it will go fast that we feel like we need something else, or we need something more. And I believe that we know when the time is right for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really have someone on your side, because you're always your own blind spot. And we forget all of the beautiful things we said to our clients that we need to do that ourselves too, whenever we feel in these places in life.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many beautiful things. We could talk for hours.
But our time is actually up. Where can people find you? If they're like, Camilla, she is fucking awesome, I want to be in her space, where can they find you?
Magical, welcome, beautiful people. They can find me on Facebook. I have a very long name. Camilla 𝐒𝐩𝐥𝐞𝐯𝐞𝐬𝐬. I
will add your link. I think that's...
Thank you for that. And and on Instagram, my name is Camilla Milton.
Yeah. Is that the name of your business, right?
Yes. Milton is the name of my business. It's a nickname my older brothers gave me since forever. So it just really, it has a close place in my heart. So, and I think it's a badass name. So that was what my business should have. Yeah. So 2 different names, but on Instagram and on Facebook, that is where I am, and give everything that I can.
I love it. I will add the links for both of your profiles.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So lovely to talk to you.
You too. And thank you for today, and thank you for listening.
Yes. So excited for this.
Yes.
Well, nothing more to say.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and already know what your next aligned action step is.
And if you're ready to unlock the potential of your business while staying rooted in your spiritual essence, the 7-Figure Club podcast will be your compass. So tune in as we embark on self-discovery, growth, prosperity, and profit.
Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform. Together we will illuminate the path to spiritual and financial abundance, one episode at a time.
And if you're ready to take it a notch deeper, make sure you don't miss the opportunity to join the VIP 7-Figure Club and be a part of our thriving community, where you will get all the insider knowledge and get an opportunity to be featured right here in this podcast.
Exactly. So just click the link below to read a lot more about it and see if the gates are open, or you can join the waitlist. So get ready to transform your business and life. Once again, welcome to the 7-Figure Club podcast, where your journey to soulful success begins. See you soon again.